Hello everyone! In this video, we'll see together how to merge databases with an Excel function that is even more flexible than VLOOKUP and that overcomes VLOOKUP main drawbacks. If you don't know how VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP works, I recommend you check out my video on this super useful function. Well, before I said we'll see an Excel function that is even more flexible than VLOOKUP, but I should rather say a combination of functions. I'm talking about the index and match function combination, also referred to more quickly as index match. If you're not familiar with index and match, don't worry. We'll first see what the index and match functions do independently, and then we'll learn how to combine them together. The final formula is going to be a bit long, but once you master it, you'll enjoy the range of possibilities it gives you. In this video, we'll work once again with our security database. In the first sheet, we have a list of securities, 2 empty columns for category and country, and the value in $1,000. In the second sheet, we have the detail of category and country we want to add to the first sheet. And once again, I'm moving across sheets with a Control and Page Up and Control and Page Down shortcut. Okay, let's start with index. Index returns the value of a dataset in a given row and column. And let me show you what it means with an example. So for example, we type equal index and we complete the formula with the tab key. We first have to select an array. For example, this one, we pick a random one for the time being, comma, and we need to specify the row and column we're interested in. So for example, row 1 and column 1. We close the parentheses, enter, and we have security, because security is in the first row and first column of the array we selected. If we pick row 1 and column 4, for example, we get current value, because row 1, 1, 2, 3, fourth column, current value. Per se, this function is not that flexible. Match instead returns the relative position of an item we're looking for in an array. And once again, let me show you what it means with an example. And let's write equal match, complete that with the tab key. Lookup value, we want to look for country, for example, comma, lookup array, and note that this should be just one row or one column. It cannot be a two-dimensional array like we selected before. We select row number 1, comma, and we need to specify the match type. We want exact match 0, close the parentheses, enter, and now we have 3, because if we enter in the formula with F2, we see that we were looking for country in this array, and country is 1, 2, 3, the third cell in the array. Enter, and we have 3 once again. This function is what is going to give flexibility to our index function we saw before. Let's now combine the two functions together and see what happens. And pay attention to the formula bar. So we go here, equal, and we start with index. Okay, first thing, array. We need to specify here the source database. And this is the equivalent of the table array of VLOOKUP. So we move to security details, okay, and it is important that we select here also the column headers. So we select also security, category, and country. We don't see that right now. Shift, Control, down arrow key, we select it all, and we freeze it with F 4, comma, and now we need to select the row number. If we want it to be flexible, we need to use a formula, and we will now use match. So we write match, we complete it with tab, and now with match, we need to select the row. So we move to securities with control and page up, and we want to look for Apple because we're in the row of Apple, so the row should be Apple, comma. Lookup array, where are we looking for? Apple. So control and page down, we're looking in the security column, control shift down. So basically we want to know which is the position of Apple in this array, and match will return 1, 2 because Apple is the second row within this array. We want to freeze the selection with a 4, comma, match type 0. As we said, we want an exact match, and we close the parentheses. Okay, and now we specified the row number, which is match, which will give us 2, as we said, comma, and now we need to specify the column number. We need to tell index to select the second column, which is the category column. So we use match once again because we want to select that in a flexible way. Tab, lookup value. We want to look for category, as we said. And since we will be pasting the formula down, we want to freeze the row. So we press F4, 1, 2 times. Now, as you can see, there's a $, to the left of 1. Okay, comma. Where are we looking for category? We move to security details in this array up here. Freeze it with F4, comma, 0 for exact match, and we're done with the second match. And now we're done also with index, so we can close another parenthesis and we can press enter. As you see, we have tech. If we select the formula and double click here to paste it down, we have all our categories correctly displayed in column B. Let's look at it one more time to look for the country information. So once again, equal index is our main formula, and we start with the source dataset, including the header row. So we move to security details, we select the whole database, control shift down, and we freeze it with F4. Okay, comma, and next we need to use match to get the row we need. Basically telling Excel to return the relative row position of Apple in the dataset column with the security name. So let's do it. Match, tab, we want to look for Apple, where, once again, as we said, in the lookup array, in the dataset column with the security name. We include the column header, control, shift, down. We freeze it with F4, comma, we want an exact match. We close the parentheses and we're done with a row number. Next, we use, again, match to get the column we need, telling Excel to return the relative column position of the country in the dataset header row. We use, once again, match to get the column we need, telling Excel to return the relative position of country in the dataset header row up here. So match, tab, lookup value, as we said, we go back to securities sheet, is country, and we want to freeze the row. So we press F4, 1, 2 times, and we have the $, here, comma, lookup array. We move to security details and we select the first row. We freeze it with F4, comma, 0 for exact match, and we close the match parentheses, and we also close the index parentheses. We press enter and we have USA. Once again, we double click here and we have all the country information correctly displayed. And we're done. Now, with index match, you overcome all the drawbacks of VLOOKUP. First, if we modify the source dataset, adding a blank column, for example, here we press Ctrl+ to add a new column, the formula is flexible enough to adjust and still give us the right value. As you can see here, everything is still correct. Also, there is no need for the security name to be the first column anymore. If we cut it and paste it somewhere in the middle, the formula still works. And let's do it once again. Security, Ctrl X, we cut it, and we want to paste it here. We select the column, Ctrl+, we add it here, so we have blank category, security, country. We go back here, and as you can see, everything still works fine. We still have category information and we still have country information. And finally, we wrote the formula twice, once for category and once for country. But since index match gives you a greater flexibility on the columns, this time we could have written the formula only once. And let's see it together. Let's delete the formula for country and let's go in here. And what we had to do, if we wanted to paste the formula into multiple columns, we would have to make sure that the information of the security name doesn't move to the right together with the formula. So if we go here in Apple, we need to make sure that if we paste the formula to the right, we still select Apple. So we need to freeze the column. So we press F4 1, 2, 3 times, and we have the dollar to the left of A. We press enter. Let's double click to copy the formula down with the dollar to the left of A in all the rows. And now guess what? If we copy and paste the formula to the right, we have USA. No need to write the whole formula another time. You only need to make sure that category and country, the column headers, are the same in this database and in this database. And now we can paste it down once again and we have all the information we need. And this is how index match works. I hope you liked this video. Feel free to leave a message in the comment section. I'm going to publish new videos on a weekly basis, so if you want to stay up to date with the new releases, hit the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.